Hey fight fans, this is Knockout Sports TV. On this episode, I talk to Slough's middleweight, Josh Adewale, as he prepares to make his professional debut. Hey fight fans, this is Knockout Sports TV. I'm here with Josh Adewale. He's all set to make his pro debut in October. Tell us, Josh, when exactly it is and where you're going to be fighting?
It's Friday the 26th of October and it's going to be at York Hall in Bethnal Green.
Okay, and how are you feeling about that? Are you feeling pretty excited and raring to go?
Yeah, I feel ready.
Has an opponent been named as yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, first fight, I mean, hopefully it's going to be a lot of many fights in the future and you're going to be climbing the ladder, going all the way to the top.
That's the plan.
Good stuff. So tell us a little bit how it all started, Josh, for you.
I used to play rugby at school only for the team at school, and we was quite good. I know I was quite good anyway, but we got to a final, and even the coach said around halfway through that I was carrying a team and things like that, and I think there was one try in it, and towards the end, somebody let the team down and lost us the game. And then since then, I didn't play another game after that. And then I always liked to fight, and then I came down here, and I haven't stopped since, really.
How old were you when you first started, got into a ring?
As in had a fight, or do you mean training?
Oh, just your first interest in boxing and when you first started to train?
Maybe 15.
Okay, all right. I mean, compared to some of us like your Joe Kawasaki's, who was in the ring from 8 and so on, something that could be quite late. But,
I had my first fight when I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
And with regards to who inspired you, who are some of the heroes who got you interested in boxing?
I wouldn't really. I know people come out with all sorts of stuff who they used to watch and things like that. Obviously, I've watched boxing, but there weren't any individual that made me wanna come to the gym, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. I mean, a lot of people.
I just like to fight, to be honest.
You'd be surprised. I mean, people I've spoken to. I mean, a lot of professional boxers, they talk about, well, when they were a kid, they looked at Rocky Balboa, they looked at fictional characters like Apollo Creed. A lot of people obviously say Mike Tyson if you're from a certain era. Some would look at Nigel Benn, for example. None of these characters appeal to you, like Floyd Mayweather's?
Well, yeah, obviously I like I could name boxers I like say Roy Jones Jr., Mayweather, Mike Tyson. But yeah, there wasn't a boxer that I ever looked at and thought I wanted to be like them, or I wanted to take bits from what they do, or anything like that. Really, it was just I just wanted to come down the boxing gym.
Well, I mean, that's different than a lot, but like, hey, I mean...
Yeah, there's no point in me trying to make it sound like something it's not.
You're being unique,
yeah.
And like, congratulations on being with the MTK. You signed up with them in June, is that correct?
Yeah.
So what stood out for MTK for you compared to the others? Because there are quite a number of others that potentially you could have signed up with.
Yeah. Obviously I'd heard of them, and they've obviously got a lot of top fighters. The likes of Carl Frampton, Billy Joe Saunders, Tyson Fury. Names like that, O'Hara Davies, but that wasn't the reason I signed with them.
Okay.
We started speaking, and then when we met up, I was going to meet him with somebody, but I met him on my own, and then I just liked what I heard. I'd seen lots of different people in the past, but obviously everyone says the same sort of things, but when I met MTK, they didn't try to. Everyone else sort of. It sounds like they're trying to sell themselves and they say things and offer things, but MTK just sort of said, "This is where it is."
Yeah.
And Yeah, I just liked what I heard.
And they've got a lot of experience, of course, and like former boxers as well who can advise you.
Yeah.
So it seems like a very good setup. I mean, as you've mentioned, I mean, the Tyson Furies are with them, Billy Joe Saunders and Carl Frampton. So a lot of experience there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about your amateur career. I mean, I was recently at the O2 where I saw Conor Benn fight, and Conor Benn hasn't really got a lot of amateur fights behind him now.
Yeah.
You personally, you've been in the amateur scene for quite some time. I mean, how many fights did you have all in all?
I had 30, but I'm 23 now. My birthday is next month,
All right, okay.
so by the time I have my debut, I'll be 24.
Yeah.
And I had my first fight when I was 17, so that's obviously 7 years. But I did have time off here and there. It was never out of choice. I'd never stopped boxing out of choice, but yeah, not too long, like a year here or a year there. So yeah, I wasn't consistently fighting for 7 years. Otherwise, I would have had a lot more fights.
Yeah.
But I was always in the gym. Even when I couldn't fight or couldn't box, I'd still be training, if that makes sense. Like I've never went months and months without doing any sort of boxing related training, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what are some of the highlights for you with your amateur career? I do believe you reached the quarterfinals of the ABAs.
Yeah. I should have done better.
Obviously, there must be some rivalries as well that perhaps could go into the professional game down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any highlights that you'd say, or fighters that you fought that you would like to face again in the professional ranks?
Not really. I don't really care about them sort of people, but there's a few of them that want to fight me again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
any names you can mention?
they're not necessary, really. they're not relevant, but yeah.
It's a question of watch this space, is it?
Yeah, it's just it is what it is, really. If they had any sort of name, I'd probably mention them, but nobody's probably heard of them anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Because you can see a lot of rivalries from amateurs to pro. I mean, the recent one, the real big beef, is between Anthony Joshua and our friend who just recently beat Josh Parker, Dylan White, for example. You don't know what the future holds. I mean, so who knows what will happen down the line.
Yeah.
But hopefully you'll be going onwards and upwards and being rapidly rising to the top.
I don't even mind mentioning names, to be honest, but I feel like I'd be doing them a favour.
No.
And I don't want to do. Nobody's done me any favours.
No,
so.
absolutely. You're doing it the hard way.
Yeah.
You know. So you're going to be fighting at middleweight, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feeling very strong at middleweight. You think that's the ideal weight for you? There was some talk about maybe you fighting at light middleweight, but it seems that middleweight you'll be at your strongest.
Yeah. Light middleweight's a bit. I don't know. I'm not saying I couldn't make it. Maybe I could, but I'll just see how it goes.
Excellent. And you want to be fighting on a regular basis? I heard something about maybe 7 times during the course of a year you'd like to fight.
Yeah. That sounds like a good number.
Yeah.
I want to try and fight as often as I can, really. Obviously, in the amateurs, I think at one point I had a bad injury. I got hit by a car and I broke my cheekbone in 3 different places, and I had to have surgery. But as soon as I was able to box again, I had 5 fights in the space of 4 weeks, and I won them all. So yeah, I like to be busy. Obviously, I can't be that busy in the pros, but if I can fight every month or every other month.
Yeah, depends on the circumstances, of course. I mean, if you get a cut or whatever and you need time to recover, hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully it'll be a smooth transition.
Yeah, it's funny you say about fighting. I wanted to fight, I was meant to fight, well, I got offered 2 dates, and one was the 21st of September, 2 days before my birthday. I wanted to fight on that show, but yeah, I think the October show is just a better venue.
Oh yeah.
And it just gives me a bit more time, really. I'm just whatever MTK and my coach recommend, I'll just go with it for now.
Yeah. How are you before a fight? I mean, various fighters, they have different way of preparing. I mean, Mike Tyson, for example, He said that before he actually entered the ring, he was scared to death, but the closer and closer he got to the ring, he felt even more confident. By the time he stepped into the ring, he was a god. He felt like a god. Your experience so far in the amateurs, how's your preparation been when you're about to walk to the arena?
I don't know. I think I'm quite myself, but I don't. Before fights, I don't really say in my changing rooms and warming up and things like that. Some people, everyone's different, I guess, but I don't like to be around too many people. I'd rather not that I want that sort of stuff after, but if anything, I'd rather save all that sort of stuff after. I just want to go out there, get the job done, and
You find it quite easy to switch into fight mode?
Yeah. I feel like I'm always in fight mode.
So you have that natural aggression, would it be fair to say?
Yeah, I don't know if it's always a good thing, but I feel like I could fight now.
That's interesting. Because it takes a bit of time to build up into that fight mode. Some are like outside the ring, they're totally opposite to what they are in the ring.
Yes, it's weird. I've heard some people say, find it hard to get into fight mode and about hurting people. I've heard some fighters say that they felt bad for however their opponents ended up after the fight and things like that. I don't think I'd ever have that problem, but everyone's different, obviously.
Yeah.
I like to hurt people, so I wouldn't really.
Tell us about your fighting style. I mean, for those out there who haven't actually seen you fight in the amateurs, what would you say your fighting style is?
It's weird because when I first started boxing, I used to fight a certain type of way, probably more, maybe something to do with the aggression like you mentioned, but it was more just more fighting, if that makes sense. Maybe,
Slick? Would you say you were a slick fighter, in and out, fast combinations?
Nah, not really.
Yeah,
I don't know.
or just going for the kill. Looking to destroy.
I think it depends. I think it depends how I want to deal with it and who I'm in the ring with. Because some people, I think it's better to use different styles against different opponents. Or like I said, sometimes I think it would depend what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to take my time a bit more than other times.
Okay. Well, when obviously you have go to the professional route, the mood could be a case of, you just got to be in one type of mood to actually deal with your opponent. Because being in a professional ring obviously can be a dangerous thing. So looking at the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent, obviously you'll be looking to exploit that. Yeah,
I'm always in the mood to deal with whoever I'm in the ring with, but just dependent on the mood and the opponent and things like that. I think depends on how you want to go about it.
Yeah. This is true. So have you ever thought about after your career, because for the likes of David Haye once said that he wanted to retire at 31, but as you all know, David Haye fought until he was nearly 38. Is there a plan for Josh Adewale, for his career? I know sometimes you have to take one step at a time, but have you thought about outside the ring what you'd like to do?
I think it'd have to be boxing related or even sport related. Maybe not just boxing, but No, I haven't. I like to even say in terms of fights. If you ask me, some people would say, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" and things like that. Them sort of typical questions. Not if you ask me that, I'd probably just say with X amount of wins under my belt and maybe a few titles and things like that. I don't know. I just like to take step by step, but I wouldn't be working in an office or I wouldn't be doing something like that. I've never done things like that. I wouldn't be I wouldn't finish boxing and then just be do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand perfectly what you mean.
But I don't know exactly what I'd be doing.
Yeah, for example, in football, footballers, when they're packing up the game, they do their coaching badges. Is there equivalent in boxing if you want to be a coach or a trainer? Do you know if there is something, the equivalent what a footballer would do with coaching badges? Is that something perhaps you would think about being involved with?
Obviously, obviously, some people after they stop boxing, they'll do coaching and coach other pros or things like that. But I haven't really thought that far ahead. I just want to concentrate on the fighting for now.
Exactly. You're just about to start your pro career. Obviously, you're looking to climb that ladder as quickly as possible, so that's the main focus. So, we're wishing you well here at Knockout Sports TV, and we aim to actually follow your career right throughout, from like your debut at the York Hall. And we're wishing you all the best, and hopefully, down the line, we can look back at this, and Josh Adewale could be the British champion, could be the world champion, European champion. You just never know.
Do you like the sound of it?
I like the sound of that. Josh Adewale, world middleweight champion of the world.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are there any ideal places you'd like to fight? Do you dream of one day being at, say, Madison Square Garden, Las Vegas? Does all those things come into your head? For you personally?
It would be nice. Any sort of big arena with thousands of people there, but there hasn't been any particular venues that popped into my head. No, not really. But yeah.
A lot of viewers, they think that because you turn professional, you may not be doing something part-time. In the dark old days of, say, 20, 30 years ago, there was a boxer called Steve Robinson, for example, who had a part-time job as a binman. What is your situation? Are you studying, or are you working part-time? Or because now that you're professional, what is the situation for you? For aspiring fighters out there who are amateur and looking to turn pro, what's the situation for yourself?
I'm not working at the minute, and I can't really remember the last time I did, but I've just sort of managed to do other things, nothing consistent, but just here and there to sort of make enough money to pay for whatever I need to pay for, or buy whatever I need to buy. Obviously, boxing stuff's expensive. I think my medicals come to about £800. My gloves were about £200. My head guard was about £200. So things are expensive, but I don't go out clubbing, drinking alcohol, things like that. So I'm not saying I don't have any luxuries, because I've got a nice car, but I don't work. I know some fighters that do work full time, and I've seen on social media some fighters work full time, some fighters, like you said, work part time, and some fighters get sponsored or whatever. But I just feel like I'm sort of in the middle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, I've had to do things to, and even now, just money. Even thinking about money, it's not convenient, if you know what I mean.
No,
if I didn't have to worry about money or think about it at all, and I could just box. Yeah. But hopefully that'll come soon.
Well, with success, Josh, obviously the rewards will follow.
Yeah.
So let's see what occurs. How do you switch off? When you're not boxing, what sort of hobbies do you have?
See, I don't really have hobbies like that. Sometimes I don't feel like I can switch off. I was speaking to my coach about it the other day. Sometimes I don't feel like I can switch off, but he sort of said it's not a bad thing.
No.
But there's been points of when I felt maybe drained, say mentally, but right now I'm in a good place. I went bowling the other day with my friend. Nothing exciting. I remember. I think it was my 21st birthday.
Okay.
I had a fight. I had championships a few weeks later. So my friends were sort of saying, it's weeks after your birthday, so we can still go out and things like that. And I ended up going go-karting with a few close friends. So I don't do anything exciting. Last year when I had the injury, I had to have about a year off.
Right.
I went to Ibiza, so obviously that was exciting. But when I'm boxing, like other than that, that was exactly a year ago. So in the past 12 months, I haven't done anything exciting, really.
Yeah.
Just boxing.
It's just the focus, obviously, leading up to this time where you're turning professional.
Yeah, people sort of think, oh, like say now my debu's 10 weeks away. People sort of think, why can't you drink now? Because you've got plenty of time. But I think sometimes it's a mental thing as well. I don't really enjoy all that sort of stuff anyway. But even if I did, I think going into a fight knowing that maybe 5 weeks ago you was consuming loads of alcohol, it's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't agree with it. Some fighters obviously do and still win and get far and do whatever they want to do, but everyone's different.
How do you prepare for a fight? Is it the modern day fight? Is it different than just doing your road running and so on? How is Josh Adewale's preparations going? Well, what sort of things do you do to prepare for a fight with regards to stamina work and things like that?
I do a lot of training. I do a lot of training.
Any raw eggs like Rocky or anything like that?
No, none of that. I do a lot of training though. I train 10 times a week.
Okay.
So, if you average it out, it would be twice a day over the 5 days, and then have the weekend off. That's not my schedule, but that's the equivalent. That's how much I train. So it's quite a lot.
Okay. Do you do a lot of road running around Slough? I mean, how do you prepare with regards to things like stamina? 8 miles and things like that. Is that something that you would get involved with?
No, don't. No. The other day I went to the athletics track.
Okay.
And I've done a lot of running, but I don't really. I don't do a ridiculous amount of running. I know boxers that have ended up with bad knees or shin splints, and I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
But
well, you're guided by your trainer, obviously. And obviously the experience of your management team as well. So you're going to be starting out, is it going to be 6 rounds on your debut? Is it likely to be? Or
probably 4 rounds.
4 rounds, okay.
I think the majority of people start off at 4 rounds.
Okay.
Not that I'd have a problem with 6, but I think,
Yeah, and then you graduate to 6.
Yeah.
Will it be, and then after that 8, and then 10?
And then 12.
And then 12?
Yeah.
Then we start looking at belts and things like that?
Yeah, I think you only box over 12 rounds, and them sort of rounds only for titles anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
hopefully it shouldn't take too long.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you're obviously looking at the southern area. I mean, for the first title that you would hope to go for. Do you give yourself any sort of deadlines of exactly when you'd like to actually reach those targets? Or you just take one step at a time?
Yeah, just take one step at a time. But I wouldn't, even though some people say to me, I'm only 23, I'm still young. Some people said to me I shouldn't have turned pro yet.
Oh, really?
And I could have waited another year or two, but obviously I think the timing's right.
Absolutely, you feel ready. I mean, you look at the likes of Joy Joyce and other fighters. I mean, they're a lot older.
Yeah. For
example, but with the amateur experience that you've got, you feel obviously ready to make a dent into boxing. Yeah,
everyone's different, but I think the timing's good now. So I'm not in a rush, but I like to. I'm quite impatient, so even if I was say walking to the shop, even if I had no plans that day, I'd just want to get to the shop as quickly as I could. Yeah. Just because that's how I am, not because some people have sort of said to me before, like, why am I in a rush? But I'm not in a rush. Yeah. Like, I haven't got any plans today, but why would I walk to the shop slowly? So I just want to get there as quickly as I can. Do you know what I mean?
So maybe the management team are going to have to rein you back, Josh. I mean, because maybe you seem like a man on a mission. Yeah. Well, totally focused. I mean, so perhaps that's where the management team come in.
Well, that's what happens with the whole date situation. Obviously, I was keen to fight the 21st of September, which is about 5 weeks away. But I got reined back.
Sometimes it can only be a good thing because those with experience, been there and done that. But it's good to be hunger and have that desire to actually do what you need to do to climb that step up the ladder. So with the current fighters, are you taking an interest in what's going on? I mean, like Tyson Fury is obviously fighting tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah. Are you taking an interest in stablemates? I mean, exactly what they're doing and what are your feelings?
Yeah, I saw earlier actually Deontay Wilder interrupted at a press conference and caused it sort of kicked off, caused some sort of problems, and I saw a bit of back and forth from Wilder and Fury, but yeah, and I saw Carl Frampton's fighting Luke Jackson.
Yes.
He went to the Olympics for Australia, so he's obviously got good amateur pedigree. He wanted to point out the fact that he went to Olympics for Australia and Carl Frampton didn't go to the Olympics or anything like that. But yeah, I think Frampton and Fury will both take care of both of their opponents anyway. But so yeah.
And can you see Anthony Joshua fighting next year against Wilder? Can you see that, or do you think the politics, as it is going to block that for the foreseeable future?
I think there's definitely too much politics behind it, and if the Fury Wilder fight goes ahead as they're making it sound like it's going to, I think that will cause even more of a problem with Anthony Joshua then fighting
absolutely.
Wilder. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Lennox Lewis recently came out and thinks that Anthony Joshua's team are stalling, and it's really that Deontay Wilder wants Jerry to fight.
Yeah.
Do you go along with that?
I don't really know what's being said behind closed doors, but it looks that way. But it's not always what it looks like. So I don't know. Yeah. But
obviously Tyson Fury, he's got a good chance of actually fighting Deontay Wilder. Would you give him a chance in that fight? If that happened at the end of the year?
Yeah. You just need to look at what he done to Klitschko. He went over to Germany and what he done to Klitschko. Really, I'm not saying Klitschko is the same as Wilder. Obviously, Klitschko was however old he was at the time.
Yeah.
And Wilder's young.
Oh yeah.
But I just mean mentally how strong he was to go over there and just dominate the way he did. He made it look like a walk in the park.
He did make it like a walk in the park. I mean, the fact of the matter though, is this time around he's just coming back. I mean, we're talking about if he gets past his opponent tomorrow, that's 2 fights before going to a big fight against the WC World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, it would be a remarkable story if he won.
I think sometimes people are. I think sometimes people look at time off and focus on that a bit too much because obviously Fury had longer off and it's different in the pros fighting world champions. But when I had a year off and then came back, I crammed in 5 fights in 4 weeks, which is a lot of fights, and I won them all. Yeah. And I probably felt better than I had before I had the injury, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
So sometimes I think you just come back and you feel refreshed. You've just had a break mentally, physically, and I think sometimes it's good.
Yeah.
So
well, they say styles makes fights. I mean, so who knows exactly what could happen between Wilder and Fury if that does happen, as it seems that it's likely to happen.
I don't think people should get caught up in the fact that Fury had some time off.
Yeah.
And I think that would be silly. People keep mentioning that, but I don't think it's too relevant, if that makes sense.
No.
It's like riding a bike. You never forget how to ride a bike. You know what I mean? So
I understand what you're saying. Are there fighters that you like seeing? I mean, out there. I mean, as I mentioned previously, Conor Benn. He was recently involved in a big setup where Deontay White was fighting against Joshua.
Yeah.
Parker, sorry. So, what do you think about young up-and-coming fighters like Conor Benn?
I watched one of his fights actually at York Hall. Some people thought the decision was a bit controversial. I think he got dropped twice in that fight.
He did.
But I don't think it's always to do with amateur experience. Obviously, he didn't have a lot of amateur experience, but I haven't seen too much of him to have much of an opinion. But yeah.
How much do you feel the name Ben comes with it? I mean, because his father obviously was a legend. Do you think if Conor was called Conor Brown or something like that, would he be looked in the same way as he is today? Because of his father's name behind him.
Well, he definitely wouldn't been. I don't think he'd be in the position he's in without the name, because he wouldn't have been given the same opportunities that he's been given.
Yeah.
Obviously, off the back of no amateur experience, you don't normally get signed to Eddie Hearn and whatever else. So
Yeah.
I think he's been that helped out in that sense. But
Fast tracked in some ways, isn't he?
yeah, but I don't think his name's helped him in the ring, if that makes sense.
Puts
Like,
under pressure, would you say?
Yeah, it probably does the opposite because
Yeah.
people have expectations of him. Maybe they shouldn't have this early on. So,
Yeah.
but I think he's still done good. He got a good win over in America and things like that. So I don't think people can use his name against him too much because his last name doesn't help him
No.
take care of his opponents, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's still doing what a lot of people wouldn't be able to do,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
indeed.
Yeah.
Great. Well, anyone else out there that you look at and you find quite interesting to watch? I mean, yourself from a distance?
Not really in the UK. Maybe in America, like Errol Spence.
Oh yes.
People like that, really. Javante Davis. The Charlo brothers are exciting to watch. Fighters like that. But in the UK, there's not really. There's not really anyone that I'd really go out of my way to watch in the UK, really, if that makes sense. But but then maybe if I lived in America, I may feel different. I may want to watch the odd fighter from the UK, if that makes sense. Maybe it's because I'm around them sorts of people that
Yeah.
I'm not too interested in watching them, if that makes
No,
sense.
that makes a lot of sense.
But I do like watching, say, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, a few fighters like that, Billy Joe Saunders, Carl Frampton. There are a few fighters that are exciting to watch.
Yeah. Would you look forward to a rematch with Dillian White and Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
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 Do you give Dillian White a chance, or do you think Joshua is at a different level?
No, I think everyone's always got a chance, but obviously it was clear from the first one that he had more of a chance than maybe people expected. So he'd have a good chance.
Well, time will tell. I mean, let's hope in the not too distant future we'll be seeing these big fights and politics won't get in the way, as it seems with some fighters. So hopefully you won't actually have that situation yourself in your career.
I was just about to say that there won't be any politics with me.
You take on all comers.
Yeah, I'm not that sort of person. Maybe if I wanted a fight early on that my management or my coach didn't think I should have, I'd be reined back, as you said. But me personally, I'd fight anyone. Yeah.
Although Lennox Lewis himself, he did say that Anthony Joshua should really get hold of his management team and just say, get the fight done.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, so how possible that is. I mean,
if I was in Anthony Joshua's position and I felt strongly about something and my coach or management weren't backing me, then maybe you should look at a different coach or management, because if you feel that strongly about an opponent and you're that confident and they're not letting you fight for whatever reason, then maybe you need to look into that.
Well, Josh, I'm hoping that at no stage at all you come across politics that way that will stop your rise.
Hopefully not.
And Knockout Sports TV will be definitely following you all the way, and we're looking forward to your first fight at the York Hall.
Make sure you're there.
Yeah, and when will tickets be available for viewers that are listening?
Right at the end of August, or say early September, so around 2 weeks from now.
Okay. And the outlets that fans can get the tickets from, would it be Ticketmaster, or is that not certain as yet?
Yeah, that's not certain as yet, but I'll definitely be able to meet people or have other people on my behalf meet people and drop off tickets and whatever else.
Yeah.
So there won't ever be a problem with that.
Excellent.
They should be on sale in my club, Slough ABC, and my amateur club, and so it won't be a problem for people to get all the tickets.
Well, we're very excited about seeing you in the professional ranks, Josh, and
I'm excited too.
As I say, down the line we hope we can look back at this and think, well, yes, this was the start, and look where Josh Adewale is now, world middleweight champion. Let's hope so.
Thanks.
Nice.
fight them, I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their club. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.